categories.
We have 60 images, 60 entries to go through. We'll cover nature and pictorial first, and that'll put us at about the halfway point, and then we'll have uh, critique, feedback, pictorial, cr critique, feedback, pet, and travel for the second half. And our title reader, as you already know, is indeed Tricia, and our judge tonight is Becky Jaffe.
Hi,
And
folks.
Becky is a very popular judge in this club.
Favorite.
Just the feedback I've received, one of our most favorite judges.
Very, very kind of you. I appreciate you having me back.
Thank you for coming back. So I'll bring up the images and we can get started. Share my screen.
We're in for a treat tonight. Can I make a quick announcement?
Sure.
Many of you know the Looking Glass camera store that has been an institution in the East Bay for decades. They just moved to a new location, and I will be one of the jurors on a photography contest that they are sponsoring called On Rose. You have until August 31st to submit images for that contest. I think I cannot drop a link into the chat box. Is that true?
I think that's right. Yes.
I could send it to you separately, Bill, but
Sure.
basically, you could just look up Looking Glass Photography Contest and don't show me what you're going to do because I'm one of the jurors, but I wish you luck in that contest, and it's a good way to keep our brick and mortar photography stores up and running.
Oh, sounds
Sounds good.
You can drop that in our Facebook
Okay, will do.
group. That would be great. Thank you.
Okay, nature, basic plus intermediate, 4 images.
Let's begin.
Come on, cursor. There we go.
Devouring ooze, feeding on decaying wood, fungi, and bacteria. Plasmodial slime molds live in damp woodlands and forests. Despite its size, the organism's body is one enormous cell.
I was frankly delighted to see this image for several reasons. One is, it's rare that we get a slime mold in the nature category. As a group, we really are great at birds and, the beautiful animals. Most people would not count a slime mold in that category. But I'm happy to see it for so many reasons. One, it actually is beautiful, especially the way that this photographer has captured it with the dichromatic color pairing where you have that beautiful mustard yellow set against that kind of lavender purple background. Those colors really work well together. And I think what you can see here also is that the wood is kind of wet, which is partly why we're getting that purple hue. And you can see there's a whole host of shelf fungi here that are cooperating in the shared task of recycling the matter here as the slime mold is. So it's just a wonderful view of ecological cooperation and intelligence, really, because there is a brain-like quality to this slime mold. And of course, they're much studied to understand networking. So it's a beautiful image of a fascinating topic and hopefully one that sends us down a rabbit hole of learning more about this creature. Next.
Foxtail pines, Pinus balfouriana, live at timberline in the Sierra Nevada. Unlike the closely related bristlecone pines, they do not need dolomitic soils to thrive.
I always appreciate the information you guys include. I did search dolomitic soils when I read this recently and was happy to see someone other than the bristlecone pines taking center stage here. They are such a dramatic creature. It's like it makes me think of a Dali painting with like a claw scratching at the sky. There's something rugged and ragged about this tree. And in this environment, my God, what a harsh environment. You can really tell from all the grays and really the lack of flora on the floor there, how rugged this environment is and how tough it would be to survive there. So you really get a sense for, yeah, just how strong you have to be to survive on this planet. it's a remarkable metaphor. The one thing I would say about the image aesthetically is that that cloud at the top edge it's an edgy move in the sense that, our eye goes straight to the whitest spot and or the reddest spot in the frame first. And if you have either bright white or bright red on an edge, you're kind of tempting the viewer to leave the frame and go past that edge. So I might close up that cloud just to keep the viewer's eye in the main subject here. Um, but other than that, a beautiful rugged scene. Next.
Narrow escape, one of three. A small heliothodes moth lands on the flower head of a hayfield tarweed to feed, unaware of the hidden threat among the flowers, a camouflaged crab spider waiting in ambush. Suddenly, the crab spider attacks. The moth barely manages to avoid being grabbed and envenomated by the hidden hunter. Alighting on a nearby unopened tarweed head, the moth has avoided becoming the crab spider's latest meal.
An awesome sequence, really. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start with the fact I think this is not a moth. I think this is a skipper. I could be wrong, but that's just getting nitpicky. Regardless of whether it is a skipper or a moth, it is really cool to see the crab spider there. And you can kind of see the crab spider underneath there if you know what you're looking for, but they're so well camouflaged, it's tricky. And the wings are really covering that crab spider. But I think what's working so well here in this image, there's a couple things. One is the depth of field. Obviously, we get some scientific realism in the foreground. We get some beautiful impressionism in the background that's quite painterly. And but the two together work really well. Let's see the next image. And I also think that having the flower be a little off center is effective. Here you actually get to see the crab spider, although not in great detail. I would say the one thing to work on here is getting more detail out of that crab spider so that the people who have never seen a crab spider and don't know what they're looking for can really make out the details. A crab spider is a wonderful thing to behold. And you can kind of get a sense here of the thorax, but it's a little blurry. So, and then in the next one, yeah, I think here we're kind of missing the crab spider entirely. Unfortunately, it may have jumped. But at any rate, I think it's fascinating to see this because I think most people would not be aware of this predator-prey relationship, and the sequence really reveals that well. So happy to see you teaching us something about ecology here. Next.
Wild turkeys, one of three. A tom turkey surveys a flock of hens near Pauling Creek in Santa Rosa, California. Liking what he sees, the tom puts on a show, displaying his mating potential. At least while in front of the camera, the unreceptive hens ignore the courtship display and turn away.
Each of these images in its own right is really well composed. Each of them can stand alone, but the set of them supports each other. So they can stand alone or work as a group. And I think that's an impressive feat. We are living more and more with wild turkeys. And so it is interesting to see how they're kind of self-domesticating among us here. And this is a fabulous image. It really does show the bombast of the tom and the kind of hurly-burly kind of quality of the whole flock. I love the face on the left. There's something a little comedic about it. Maybe, the tom is so bombastic and flamboyant and so full of egotism, but there's something funny about that blurry one on the left. I don't can't exactly explain why, but so you have a couple of different emotions here, and I think that works really well. Better than one emotion is a couple of emotions. And here, wow, I mean, would this turkey be pleased with its portrait? I think so. The way that you captured the iridescence is fabulous. It really does show what is so mate-worthy about this creature. How many people here want to mate with this Tom? Raise show of hands. Anyone? I mean, it is an impressive beast. Tempting. I also love the triangle on the lower left. I think there's a lot that's working geometrically here in this composition. The way that you have vertical lines offset with, rotational symmetry, that's working. And even the aspect ratio of the image, the outer edges are well adjusted for the fact that you basically have a circle as your main subject. When you have a circle as your main subject, closing it with a square works really well. Can we see that next one? And this is an unusual view. Like, I actually haven't seen this before. We've seen a lot of turkey photos, but not this vantage point. And I think there's a couple of things that are working here. One is synecdoche, right? When you're showing part of the animal and not the whole animal, and the brain has to fill in the rest of the animal, you're really inviting the viewer to meet you halfway. And the viewer likes to fill in that puzzle, right? You want the viewer to do some work. And here you're allowing the viewer to come toward the image. So it's like an invitation. But also, we love repeated forms that repeat on smaller scales into infinity. And we're getting that here. This tail is repeated multiple times. And there's really, you can tell a lot of visual and social information based on this image. And it's just an unusual take. So I think this person should be very pleased with themselves, perhaps as much as the Tom is, about how this series came out. Next.
Nature Masters, 5 images. Kodiak bear cubs remain with their mothers about 3 years and sometimes become assertive and aggressive. Ursus arctos middendorfi, Kodiak Island, Alaska.
So exciting to get to see this. We get to travel the world through each of you. And this is something not many people have had a chance to see at this proximity. So what a revelation. Um, it's fascinating, partly because I can't fully read their expressions, not being familiar with them socially. I don't know, like, is that bear in the back curious, about to charge? Um, there's a couple different ways that could go. Also, what is the bear in the foreground doing? Is it perhaps relieving itself? I can't tell, but there is something like maybe we have interrupted them in the middle of a moment. I'm curious about the social behavior here. It's really raising those kinds of questions, but setting those aside, which is a good thing. I think you want an image to raise questions about behavior and ecology. But setting those questions aside, aesthetically, it's powerful because of the light and the way that you essentially have rim lighting over the nose and the hump of the back. The rim lighting is beautiful here, and there might even be an HDR or a high dynamic range that has been like mildly applied, not in a gimmicky way, but in a way that actually does give us more information about the fur pattern, even the foliage, some of the plant matter there, and the way that it is of a kind with the bears. So the detail we're getting here and the lighting are just perfect. I really love what the person did with lighting here. And again, that actually cutting the sky out was also an interesting choice. We're really getting in their world up close and personal here. So very well done. Next.
This glaucous-winged gull, Larus gloskans, has found a mussel on the tidal mudflats. Lacking the strength to open the shell, the gull will drop it onto a rocky area to get to the organism.
Yeah, this whole set has some beautiful images in it, as you can see. This is technically so strong. Look how perfect the wings are there. We can get, this person is a technician, right? But not only a technician. If this were only a technically well-achieved image, we wouldn't feel anything necessarily. But this person is able to unite their technical skill with a sense of feeling. And I think both are achieved here. So I'm appreciating that there's this, the beautiful smattering of light on the water, that blurred waterway, which is so painterly. And then look at the translucence in that forewing. Look at the mouth gaping open. I mean, there is struggle and intelligence here that is relatable. And I think we tend to dismiss gulls and not really look at them, but this person is allowing us to look at them anew and showing us something mundane, but showing us what is transcendent about that. Um, and that's really one of the big projects of photography is to take the mundane and reveal it to actually be transcendent. And I think this person is doing that here. So thank you for this. Next.
A giant river otter, Pteronura brasiliensis, feasts on his catfish, Pimmelatus catch. This otter is found in Brazil's Pantanal waterways and will eat from 6 to 9 pounds of fish daily.
I love this image so much. When I previewed the images a couple nights ago, I just kept looking at this and looking at it and just stayed with it for a lot longer than we have time to tonight. But just wow. I mean, that face, it's like out of a mask, out of like that face is just so formidable. It's so wild, truly. And there's so much grotesquerie here, but I say that as a compliment. Like a lot of what we're doing in the visual arts, it's like we're either offering up the sublime or the grotesque or both, and both are powerful. And this is like offering up the grotesque in this wonderful way. That face is kind of grotesque. The predator-prey relationship is kind of grotesque. Even the muddy water and its environment, it's a tough environment. And so it's just powerful because of that expression and that earthly brutality. You can really feel for the fish in this scenario and feel what that would feel like to have those teeth inside of you. Like it's a visceral image, um, and powerful. So really kudos to this photographer for making the effort to go to the place that would deliver you this image. Next.
Karoo Karoo wood pigeon, a large native pigeon, iridescent green and bronze head and wings, white breast, red bill and feet, a sedentary bird that nests in the canopy of trees in both North and South New Zealand.
Yep, so beautiful to look at. I've never seen this animal before, and I was delighted to see it through your eyes. Um, I really get a sense of how you feel about the bird, partly because of the bokeh in the background. Those little circles of light in the background are kind of a shortcut for affection for us. We all speak a language of light together, and we're all fluent in it. And that bokeh has a particular charm to it that says something about how you feel about the subject. I know it's also an artifact of the lens, but usually we select the image because of the feeling of the light. And I think this image here, that feeling is all about kind of amazement and affection for for the isness of this other creature. Um, I like the way that the bokeh in the background kind of mirrors the berries in the foreground, and the way that the foreground foliage that the dove is nestled in is both fecund and also harsh and off-putting. It's a great way to ward off predators and also fill your belly. So it's again that sublime and the grotesque together, the harshness and the beauty all in one place. And the gesture, this curved gesture is just gorgeous. And even the catch light in the eye, that's a top-notch bird photograph, and one that would bear with some circulation. Next.
Snow geese landing in a field at Bosque del Apache National Wildlife Refuge. The geese are migratory and spend the winter months at the refuge and then fly north as far as the Arctic to have and raise their young.
This image is the stuff of poetry. Um, I kept coming back to this image. There are many strong images in this set, as you can see, and it's tough to rank and sort them. But when you look at this image, it gives me the same feeling as reading a Walt Whitman poem or, reading a passage from Emerson. It is really an ode and an homage to the earth. This isn't just love of snow geese. It's the way that the grasses are painted in. It's their gestures, it's the haze, it's the light. There's so much here that is singing poetry. Um, And I think for that reason, it's another level. It's not just telling us the fact of the snow geese, it's the feeling of the snow geese and the amazement that we share the planet with them. So I think there's a lot packed into a deceptively simple image. And what's packed in here is feeling. So I have a lot of admiration for the way this artist expressed their feeling here. Next.
Pictorial, basic plus intermediate. I think it said 10 images. Not sure.
Okay, we should
Textures of
appreciate.
tradition. Sorry.
Sorry, I
Textures
cut
of
you off there.
tradition. I forgot my job. Textures of tradition.
Okay, what's working here is how the light is managed. The light is actually tricky here because you have different materials that are absorbing and reflecting light differently. You have a cotton material, and then you have a leather material, then you have the actual haunch of the horse himself. You also have metal. Each of those is going to have a different reflective capacity and absorptive capacity. And managing all of that light and making it look good everywhere is quite a trick. And this person has done that. And again, they've used synecdoche well to tell a partial story. Like, what is the story here? I think this is a great example of where, because the person is telling a vignette of a story so well, we can fill in the rest of the details and add our own, project our own emotions and experiences onto it. And that's a big job of the visual artist, is to offer up a canvas that people can project onto. So here, I think we can project onto, like, I'm automatically thinking, is this a cowgirl? What's this woman's story? But of course I'm seeing it that way because that's bringing my own experience to it. Other people are going to see different things here. Maybe they don't see a woman at all. Maybe they see a whole indigenous history here that's different from what I'm seeing. But it doesn't really matter what the right story is. It matters that there's enough room in here, wiggle room, for us to add in the rest of the details. And in that sense, it's a beautiful short story that we can each work with.
Great picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Next.
Warner Mountain Fellfield, approximately 3 hours south of Pepperdine Camp, Modoc National Forest. Fell from of the rarest, harshest, most specialized, and most vulnerable habitats in California.
Mhm. Yeah, it certainly looks tough to survive there. Here the light is a little flat. So it's a little bit flatter feeling, to my reading. You're welcome to read it differently. But so we've got some contour, but it's kind of a one note in terms of feeling. We're also missing kind of one focal point. Maybe that the sort of mound in the back right is the focal point. I keep coming back to there, but um, we really have kind of distributed focal points here, and there isn't really, to my eye, an orchestrated pathway for the eye to move. Usually I'm looking for an entry point, like where am I going to start looking at this image? And then I'm looking for you to orchestrate, as the conductor of this composition, where my eye is going to go next and how it circles throughout the image and comes back without leaving the frame or losing interest. And here I'm kind of missing, like, you're not directing my eye around the composition as much as I would kind of like. And so I'm kind of roaming, looking for focal points. So I think this image could do with a little more subtle light and a clearer focal point and composition so that we can really stay in the image and keep looking at it. But it's certainly a strong environment to work with. Next.
The California coast has some beautiful sunsets, like this one over the rugged coastline of Pacific Grove.
Certainly does. Lovely foreground background relationship here, and really midground. You can keep moving deeper and deeper into this image. And I like that there's different qualities or little pockets of light in the different sections. There's actually a huge sweep of space here. So in the foreground, you have kind of some glowing light, which is certainly communicating a tenderness for the environment. And then as we go further into the midground, we're getting kind of some diffused light, and that also gives a kind of dreamy effect. And then as we go back and back and back, we're getting different vibrances and qualities of light. And I think if you can show different like microclimates of light in one image, that makes it more dynamic. And of course, the color palette is working here, and the clouds are cooperating rather well. So just a beautiful image of the geosphere and the hydrosphere and how they are constantly intertwined like two strands of DNA. Next.
Great blue heron, golden vigil.
Yeah, it's well named because look at that light. I mean, even if it didn't have golden in the title, we would certainly feel that golden feeling. Um, it's like we're being suffused in light here as well as we look at it. Just beautiful light. The blue and the gold together, you basically have a dichromatic color pairing here. That blue and the gold, it just works every time. So yeah, you can see how successful it is when you kind of pare an image down to two colors and you pick colors like blue and gold that play off each other so well. And that shape, look at that beautiful shape, an extraordinary animal. So yeah, the light here is really what is singing in this image. Very well done. Next.
Catching the moment, Carmel Beach, California.
I love a little silhouette, and this is a beautiful little silhouette. We get a sense of a child, and there's a real distance between the viewer and the child. And that raises questions like, is it that childhood is so long ago that we're looking at it in the rearview mirror as if it were a small object? Is it that there's a distance here between the photographer and the subject? I don't really need answers to those questions. The reading I'm getting from that distance is that childhood is a long time ago, but still a present figure in the imagination. And there is a vicarious joy for this child experiencing the waves and the ocean. There's a softness here that's communicated from the light and the silhouette, and maybe an affection for the arc of life. So that foreground is saying a lot, and the emptiness in the foreground is posing some important questions. Next.
Sunrise in the High Sierra.
Isn't that lovely? Yeah, it's interesting the way you have all these grays, these gray tones, and then those are really played off well with these, offset well with these beautiful orange salmon hues. Um, yeah, you caught the right light for this because otherwise it would all be gray and that would be kind of one note. But this is not one note. This is many notes because you have melody and harmony with the light, point and counterpoint. I also like the framing here. We have trees on the left and right that really block the eye from leaving the image and really direct the eye, almost like ushers, just like keep going deeper into the image, keep traveling this path, and there will be a payoff here. And sure enough, there is. That beautiful reflected light in the background is a wonderful payoff. So very well composed to direct our gaze where you want it to go. Next.
Yoda's Watching, Sonoma County Hot Air Balloon Classic 2026.
Isn't that fun? I mean, we love Yoda, right? I mean, I think the one thing we can agree on, there's really two things we can agree on as a nation. We all love Dolly Parton and we all love Yoda. That's about it. And and so here it is. This is the uniting force. Um, and the scale here is wonderful. It's not just the affinity we have for this character, but also the scale here that is so surprising. And very well played. You get a sense of just from the posture of the person sitting in the basket, you really get a sense of the amazement, actually, that they're experiencing being there. And then we as viewers are vicariously experiencing that amazement. So a lot of wonder to be had here. And the colors are just so fun, too. So a great polychromatic image. I like the way everything fills the frame. There's very much like a Dorothy and Oz kind of feeling here. Next.
Tulip and its Friends, Skagit Valley Tulip Festival.
Yeah, I love this. There is so much feeling here. This is a person who loves plants, loves the botanical world, and can pass that feeling along to people who might be blowing past plants and not noticing what is magic about them. Um, I also like the way that the individual plant is highlighted as well as the group because they are obviously they're social species in the same way that we are. Um, and boy, the softness, the softness here kind of invites us into a state of kind of reverie about just kind of delight, childhood delight of, can you believe this tulip exists, this little flame of life? Can you believe all these tulips are here just for the ogling? Like what a free gift. And I feel like this person is receiving the gift and passing it along so well. Next.
Perfect Timing, Goat Rock Beach, Sonoma Coast State Park.
It is perfect timing. Yeah, it really shows you the way that the rock layer shapes tidal action and tidal action shapes the rock layer in turn in this feedback loop. Feedback loop is another optional title if you want to consider that. But it is the perfect timing, so that title works as well. And yeah, I mean, we can really feel the waves crashing there in the foreground and the background, and you're really there's like a double, well, maybe a triple payoff here. The first thing I notice is not the timing. The first thing I notice is the light, the softness of the light, and the subtlety of the dichromatic pairing, color pairing. There's blue there, but just like a hint of orange and a hint of lavender, and the softness and subtlety of the color pairing creates a wonderful contemplative mood. And then after that, I notice the timing of the waves crashing and how we're getting waves crashing in the foreground and the background in this perfect shape. So there's actually layered skill sets here, and one of those skills is layering, banding, being able to create bands of interest from foreground to background and from top to bottom, where we want to look at each layer in turn and savor it like a tiramisu cake. Next.
Opening shot for Hitchcock's classic Murder on the Tiburon Ferry.
Yes, it is very Hitchcockian with the monochromatic treatment, and that there's something ominous about those trees being bare and just kind of scratching at the time. Yeah, I think it's good to be inspired by other artists, especially cinematographers as skilled as he was, and to try to channel some of the ways that they see the world. And so this is a great exercise in channeling another artist's way of seeing. I like the way that you have attended to the curvature in the architecture and pairing linear elements with nonlinear elements. That really works. You can't have just linear elements because it's too static. You can't have just nonlinear elements because it's too chaotic, but the two of them together work so well. Next.
Pictorial Advanced, 4 images. A different perspective.
Yeah, this person made it look easy, and it's not easy. It's not easy to get that level of detail in the petals. It's not easy to get to photograph a white subject and have no overexposure anywhere. There's really no mismanaged light anywhere in this image, which is difficult to pull off. And it's sensual, it's simple. It's the kind of thing that Imogene Cunningham would have photographed and cavelled over. This is a reminder of the sensuality of every little thing on the planet. Even a calyx. Most people aren't looking at a calyx because it's not that interesting, but this person is showing us, oh, yes, it is. Even a calyx is a sensual beast. The aspect ratio is just right here, having a thin border, just a suggestion of a border in a square around a circular subject. That is chef's kiss. Next.
When the earth, the water, and the sky align.
Yeah, yeah, I do like the alignment here of the path leading straight to the sun. That is lovely. And now I'm thinking about the word you taught me tonight, prominence coming out of the sun. Um, it's a bold move putting the sun kind of smack in the middle. Usually we off center it to one side or the other, but I think it's good to experiment. And sometimes, of course, it's the breaking of the rules that works so well. Um, in this case, I think there is a clear, strong foreground background relationship. To my eye, the strongest tool being used here is actually texture. Being able to see some detail in the foreground and make out the texture in the foreground is giving it a visceral, palpable quality that's allowing me to enter the image. I'm kind of less interested in the boats in the background, but the texture is bringing me in. So I would recognize texture as a strong tool in this artist toolbox and run with it. Next.
The Other Side of the Race.
I must say the title here is intriguing. I do wonder, like, what kind of race is going on here? And what does it mean to be on the other side of it? And does race have a double meaning here? Is it about sport? Is it about ethnic identification? What are we to make of this story? This is kind of an in-between moment where I can't really get a sense for how do these men feel? Are they bored? Are they connected? Are they waiting? Like what's going on for them in their inner worlds? I can't really see their faces, so I don't really know what's happening for them. All I can make out is this kind of V shape between them from the canes that makes me think they are connected and they are standing pretty close to each other. But I don't really know much beyond that. So it's really a mystery that's being offered up to me here, and I would love to know more about this mystery. Next.
Lesser Goldfinch on Sunflower.
I mean, come on. That's too good. It would have been good enough if we had had the sunflower without the goldfinch because of the way that this person really managed that soft depth of field with the scientific clarity on the flower itself. I mean, we can see every detail in the rays there. That is amazing. And the even every detail in the unfolding, the unfurling buds, that's extraordinary. But then you have the goldfinch on top of that. Um, it's perfection. I object to the name lesser. It's not, how can something this beautiful be lesser? It's clearly greater. But that's not the photographer's fault. The photographer has basically created perfection here, and I would love to see a whole series. Last thing I'll note is that there's a white spot, a circular white spot in the background, which is so perfectly placed behind the sunflower. It's just, I mean, a sunflower is a thing that is heliotropic. It tracks the sun. So to have essentially an imprint of the sun behind it is just perfect. Everything about this is perfect. Even the edges are architecturally attended to. I would love to see a whole portfolio of work this well achieved from this artist. Next.
Pictorial Masters, 8 images. Vancouver Island Seascape.
High drama. I mean, boy, do you have to be rugged to survive here? It gives you a sense of how cold, how harsh, how intense this environment is. Yeah, wow. Very impressive. Um, this is a case where you don't like, well, I take that back. You kind of do have a focal point. I start at the log in the front and kind of work my way backwards into the image, kind of pick my way into the distance there. And there's a lot of beauty into the distance to appreciate. So yeah, I think the one thing I might suggest is I don't know that the cloud layer at the top is adding a lot of visual interest. I might close down some of the gray cloud layer so that we can get more into the details and the foreground, midground, and background layers. Next.
No, Teddy can't play inside the hot air balloon. Sonoma Hot Air Balloon Classic.
I think even if we hadn't seen that title, we would know that there is some conflict here from the postures of the children. There's definitely some bossiness on the left-hand child and some defiance in the right-hand child. We can see those recognizable postures. But what a fascinating environment for a childhood drama to unfold in. It is very, I mean, I think actually the one suggestion I would make is take the Sonoma Hot Air Balloon Classic out of the title and don't tell people anything about an air balloon. Don't mention an air balloon because you want to preserve the mystery and to make the viewer's mind work about like, where are these kids? Why are they in this space? What could the meaning of this be? It is kind of a sci-fi image if you don't overtell the story. I think a partially told story is more interesting. Setting the center off center to the left is a good move, and having one of the spokes lead directly to the child is spot on as a way to stitch the elements together. Just perfection there. Next.
The Silence of Dawn.
I mean, look at this image. I mean, we want to like lick this image, right? It's like so delicious. It's so the light could not be more perfect here. The way those browns are playing off those blues, the way the curvature of this landscape is captured with the perfect light. It's as if a painter went in and just, put in a highlight, a loving highlight on each part of the landscape that they adored. And then just wow, this is an extraordinary image. Um, I would love to see this printed on a thick matte paper where it can really absorb a lot of ink, like a 330 GSM. I'd love to see this printed on metal to see what it does. I'd love to see this printed on silk floating with movement in, with a breeze in it. This is an image that could be printed lots of different ways and could read lots of different ways depending on how it's printed. But the softness is just luscious, and I would love to see that drawn out in the print. Next.
Excuse me, Mojave Surprise.
I mean, those two back to back, you can see what an impact color has on us because this is like punch you in the face marigold, right? It's like energizing and kind of gets you amped up, whereas the last one was so soothing and downbeat. So you can, yeah, you're seeing the power of color here. Um, this person seems to have added like an Orton effect, something to create like a glow here. And that tells us something about how they feel about nature, kind of an inner glow being brought out. Um, it maybe is a little heavy-handed, that glow, though. I might pull it back slightly, but I think the effect is communicating well, and I like the intertwined quality here, the way these are relating to each other. We're even getting some detail on the hair structures, the trichomes, which is some great scientific detail as well. Okay, next.
Summer Storm over the Grand Canyon.
I mean, that's how you create a focal point right there. This image would have been interesting enough without that, without the electricity in it, without the lightning bolt. But with the lightning bolt, good Lord, that's like, it's really raised it up another level because you can start at the lightning bolt, move around the image, see that beautiful curved path on the lower right, and then go back to the lightning bolt. It's a starting point and a resting point where you keep coming back to it over and over. Um, and wow, high drama. The scale of this is incredible. The light here is incredible. The clouds are being just dancerly, putting on quite a show. Yeah. And even, I mean, I think it's a little surprising that the lightning bolt is that small. Like even the scale of the lightning bolt tells us something about the scale of space we're looking into here. That's extraordinary. Wow. Yeah, you guys are delivering some wow here. Next.
Motion and Stillness, a water ballet.
Well, I'm afraid I have too many positive comments for you today and not enough negative critiques. 'Cause this I just love. Um, I have seen many, many photographs of hummingbirds because I judge for about 20 camera clubs, and this is an unusual one. We don't normally see this, and I want to see stuff I don't get to see normally. This is like, yeah, the head twist, the head shake. With it's incredible the way this photographer caught the path of water as the hummingbird shakes off the water there. Um, and the way that it is very much a dancerly move. It's on its tiptoes with its wings out. I mean, normally we're seeing the hummingbird as it's approaching nectar in that hover position. This is so much more expressive with the specular highlights of the water droplets just filling the frame. It's so much more playful. It's so much more like a dog or, like it's just much more relatable and adorable. So I think this is a better hummingbird photo because it's unexpected. I would love to see this get some circulation. You might send this to Bay Nature magazine. I think they would love to snatch this up. It's fabulous. Next.
Visitor from below.
I mean, the light. I would have been satisfied with this if there were no frog involved and it were just that soft light on the lily pads there.
Welcome home.
But then to get the frog, I mean, what the frog does is complete the triangle. You have this long diagonal, an implied diagonal from the upper left corner to the bottom right corner created by circles, an unusual move compositionally. And a long diagonal creates energy in an image. You have the beginning of a diagonal stretching from the lower left to the top right, and a crosshatch stitches an image together well. So you already have some background embedded composition here, but then you have three clear focal points. The two flowers and the eye of the frog create a triangle, and our eye as viewers, we just keep navigating that triangle and we stay in the image. We're not tempted to flee. There's no schmutz on the edges. There's nothing moving our eyes out of the frame. We just stay in that beautiful triangle, and now we're in frog world. And yeah, it's a worthy world to visit. This person has a sensitivity that is really showing up in how they communicate light and how that helps us see what is beautiful about nature. Next.
Air attack.
Yeah, this is amazing. It's partly the color palette, obviously. And it's partly that I haven't actually seen this before, and this required me to do some research. I wasn't aware that this red flame retardant existed. Um, and I did do some research to learn about it, and the way that it's used to not suppress fires that are already started, although we can see there is a fire already started here, but to cover areas that have not yet been touched by fire, so that they don't catch on fire. And the red helps color code for fighters, apparently, what areas have been treated. Um, so there's a whole story here that's important as we live in an era of climate change and increasing fires all through the West. So this is very much a story of the zeitgeist, but also aesthetically, it's just striking. And partly because you have a dichromatic color palette here with all those blues set against that vibrant red, but also partly because of the simplicity of the composition. You really, again, kind of have a triangle. You have the red blob, you have the plane, and you have the trees. And your eye can keep moving among those triangles and with very few elements get a huge story out of it. So there's a lot of work this rectangle is doing here. Um, I would call this a deceptively simple image because although there's not a lot in the composition is doing a lot of heavy lifting in terms of storytelling. Okay, next.
We're all back, ready to go?
Critique feedback. All levels. 2 images. Scoring.
So I have not previewed these, is that correct? Like, because we're not ranking these, right?
I'm not ranking them, but you should have seen them.
Okay, right. Yeah, I am amazed by this. I mean, you know, Terns are already amazing species because they can fly further on the earth than maybe any other species from pole to pole and back again. So we're already amazed by what they can pull off. But there's also just an elegance and a beauty and a grace to this animal, partly because it is so aerodynamic. We can just watch their aerial hijinks all day long. And this image is really amazing because I like the white on white. I mean, I know it's not white in the background. I know there's some blue in there and even some pink, but there's the impression of negative space on negative space, as if we were looking at a pencil drawing, a colored pencil drawing, where most of the information is just coming from that black cap and the bill there, and the wingtips, and it's so graceful. I think it really captures the elegance of the animal itself, and their pair relationship is gorgeous too. I am curious what would happen if you rotated this image like 90 degrees. If you looked at, I mean, I know that would change the biological information, but it could change the emotional relationship the viewer has where they're rising. And so something to play around with. Next.
View of Arch Rock and activity at Blind Beach from Goat Rock Overlook, Sonoma Coast.
The shape of this is working, that sweep of space. I start from the right and sweep around to the left, and that bowl of the land, the harbor here, really brings us through the whole composition beautifully. On the way, we notice and appreciate the scale. Look at those people there for scale. If you didn't have those people, you might not really appreciate how epic the scale is here. But with those people, you really get the sense of like, oh yeah, we are like fleas on a dog. There is a kind of wonderful diminishing of the human ego here, and a sense that maybe we're not the center of everything. Maybe there's another center outside of us that we are peripheral to, that is thankfully more powerful than we are. And I think the ocean takes that center stage here, as does the land itself. And it is really a remarkable view of our proper place in the scheme of things. I think maybe I would pull back a little bit on some of the to me, it's a little over processed. Um, but that's a personal preference. Like, I think there might have been some chromatic noise on the upper left, that the person's correcting for with the processing, but I would just pull back the glow a little bit. Since there's so much else working here, I don't think you even need the heavy processing. But that's a matter of personal preference. Next.
Pet photography, basic, 2 images. Shaka.
Yeah, this makes me laugh each time, partly because of how seriously the dog is taking this portrait. It kind of reminds me of those old, remember when we used to go to Sears and get our family portraits done in this very formal way? And we pretty much adopted this posture and expression. So there is like an older photography reference here that's kind of funny. But also this dog is all business, just like ready to do its job. The person has photographed every hair perfectly with the right light, with the right catch light in the eyes and the right light on the fur. That light really tells me how the photographer feels about the dog. With dogs, obviously, it's not just the catch light in the eye. We also want a catch light on the nose, and we get that here as well. Um, so as far as the technical aspects, just spot on. I feel like this dog is running for president, and this is its campaign poster. Okay, next.
Sophie.
So yeah, Sophie has that typical cat look. I'm a cat person, where it's like, I'm either gonna bite you or I'm gonna love you. It could go either way, but we love them for that. I like those wild whiskers that have the little arches, and just the proximity. You can tell how physically close the photographer is to this animal, and that proximity brings us into the intimacy of the connection. Next.
Advanced 11 images. My Bruno is a real animal.
I thought this was a clever approach to the assignment, taking, a graffiti image of a pet rather than an actual pet. Like this person is not literal. This person has an abstract take on it, which I think is creative. I also like the zoom burst effect here, which kind of makes this image look like like a barking dog, like it's at you, it's coming at you. Um, so that was a creative way to enliven the piece. The risk here is that the photographer is photographing somebody else's artwork and that artist needs credit. The muralist needs credit here. However, and normally you've heard me make that critique that if we are photographing somebody else's work, we need to give them credit. But in this case, the photographer has changed the way we see the image by using the zoom burst, and they've added their own artistry into the image by the way they've photographed it. So they are meeting the muralist halfway here, to my eye. Um, and so they do also get credit for the image. Um, in Oakland, we have a wiki page that gives artist credit for every single mural that exists in Oakland, and so you might have a similar thing there if you wanted to give artist credit. But regardless, I think this is a really fun approach to the theme and a way to make a static image really dynamic. Next.
I'm ready for my close-up.
Oh, that head cock. I mean, it's so charming. And the tongue out. I mean, that's adorable. I'm not even a dog person, and this is adorable. The catchlight being in a different place in each eye almost makes the dog look like it has googly eyes, and that's adorable. Um, Everything about this is just affable. And the light, I mean, look at that. It's like vignette lighting. This person, is photographing the dog the way you would photograph an influencer or a celebrity. You know, so you really get the sense of the feeling. I also appreciate that we're at the level of the dog. We're not looking down at the dog, so it's not a human story. We're really kind of at the same level as the dog, so we can get into the dog's world. Next.
My name is Ms. Lucy, but you can call me Ms. Lucy.
That title is great. Definitely channeling catitude. Yeah, this again reminds me of that kind of Sears Roebuck, kind of the background they used to use. It's a very formal portrait, and there's something funny about putting a Siamese cat into a formal portrait setting. I think it works. It's funny. The cat doesn't seem to have a funny expression, but the way that the light is done in the background, there's something funny about it. Um, the catch light in the eyes are great too. Yeah, well done. Nothing to critique here. Next.
The Sentry.
Yeah, that's really well done and well named. I like a two-word or one-word title that's evocative, that can have multiple associations to it. Um, and then people can attach their own feelings to it. This silhouette is just so expressive. You really get the sense of the way that the dog is on alert because of those ears and paying attention, and the dog's intelligence is at play, maybe even their protective instincts. There's something about the posture of the animal that it, communicates its intelligence. There's a little bit of chromatic noise in the mid band on the right. You're starting to see some magentas and fuchsias pop up. That's because it's a low light scenario. I'm not particularly bothered by that. I think you could bury that in a thick print, or run it through Topaz to bury some of the chromatic noise. There are ways of hiding that chromatic noise if you want to in a print. But just pointing it out because you're going to have to manage it if you print this image, which I think it's worth printing. But and maybe you want to start playing with your low light settings, your ISO settings, so that you're managing that chromatic noise. But as far as the image itself goes and the silhouette, it's very expressive. Next.
Stare Down.
Yeah, that's a very well done photograph of an animal for a number of reasons. One is it's it reminds me of that Paul Strand photo of the porch you all know from like the 19 teens. It's now over 100 years old, where he created formalism. And what he did is, he said basically we don't care about the function of the image or the object in the image. We care about its shape, its form. And here I can't even tell you, is this a dog or is it a cat? What kind of, I don't know what kind of animal this might be. It's probably a dog, but I can't exactly tell you. So it's a formalist image in that sense. And it's really about the shape, the particular strands of hair. And it also reminds me of Bill Brandt's abstracts of nude body parts on the beach that he did, where it's really you don't even know they're nudes. They're something else entirely. And this is really making me question what I think I know. And that's a good thing. It's also just striking, that black with that white and that direct gaze. It's just a striking
Yeah,
original approach. And I really respect the angle this person took. Next.
thank you. Every day outside our living room window, our one and only pet, Spidey, builds us a new web for our future and safety from moths, flies, wasps. So every day I'd take an iPhone shot of her.
Yeah, this person shares my love of the orb weaver. What could be more wonderful than an animal this intelligent that can rebuild its web every single morning? That's amazing. Um, and then when you look at the architectural design, in the way they'll shorten some spokes and lengthen others so that there's a musical signal about where the prey has landed. This is a highly intelligent animal, worthy of photographing. I think aesthetically, this person has done a really good job of capturing bokeh in the web. Do you see the way the bokeh is trapped in the web beautifully? It's also outside of the web, but it does give us that razzle dazzle. And you kind of need that razzle dazzle because I'm sure there's some people in this group who have some arachnophobia. Some
Oh,
subset of viewers are going to be totally freaked out by this image. And so if you know you have an animal that's splitting the room, like a snake or, a spider, like scorpions, people are very upset by scorpions. So if you have an animal that you know is upsetting to some people, adding bokeh in really helps. It creates that enticing razzle dazzle instead of the off-putting effect. And I love the translucence in the body here. It is all chitin and you can see the light streaming through. So the person has really captured the light well here. I'd love to see a whole series on this animal's architectural intelligence. Next.
a boy and his horse, Rajasthan, India.
Yeah, I mean, that's original. We don't get to see a lot of this, or at least I don't. I think, normally we don't love having cars in an image, but in this case, the cars are adding to the storytelling. They're telling us that this is essentially a palimpsest. It's a place where multiple time periods are kind of layered on top of each other and compressed. You have the modern era, clearly, um, with the cars and the fancy cars at that. But then you have this, much older relationship to horses. And that's interesting. The fact that the modern and the old are coexisting. And then the color palette, just wow, what a fabulous color palette. To me, though, the things that really clinch this image and seal the deal and sell me on the image, there's two things. One is the way that the eye of the horse is closed in this kind of almost like it's like in a dreamy way. There looks like there's affection from the horse coming toward the child. And then the hand gesture from the child, those hands are so tender. So there really does seem to be a wonderful connection between the human and the animal here, which does seem incongruous with the modern speedy era. So I think the cars are actually telling us an important backdrop for this story. Next.
Please, sir, may I have some?
I'm sorry, can we go back to that image for one more moment? There's another detail here. Land is an important detail here. Land is speaking loudly. It's not just an accidental element on the shirt. It's actually raising a question. Really, do we want do we want to pave our land and have it all be for cars, or do we want it for other things? I think you could say this is an image that raises questions. Okay, now for real next.
Please, sir, may I have some?
I mean, look at that. Again, like I'm not a dog person, but I can read this. There's connection here. There's a shared language and a communication through the eyes that's powerful. Um, the dog is so expressive, but also that hand is so expressive. That hand
Exactly.
has been through some things. You know, it's weather worn. It's looks like it's been a working hand. It's a hand that has seen some life, you know, and the tattoo on it, like this person has looks like they've survived some things and they're still here to tell the story. They're almost as worn as the wood in the lower left corner. And the fact that the Lay's potato chips are in the image, there's maybe even a working class note here. There's something downbeat and downtrodden here, but also upbeat and connected. And so there's actually mixed emotions here in an interesting way. I think if you can get at least two emotions into an image, that's better than one emotion. And here we can feel at least two emotions. So very well done. Next.
Resting cattle dog.
Here again, you have two emotions. Like, this is cute, right? We know this is cute because it's a toy, but also there's a viciousness that comes from in the background of this animal, where, like, yeah, it would take down another animal and it wouldn't be so cute, right? So, that hunter quality is showing up, which kind of overrides the cuteness, but the two together go well. To me, what makes the image is the pattern on the floor and the cross hatching of the diagonals and the way that the color of the floor kind of matches the color of the fur of the dog. So the dog is tied by color into the floor, but also by color with the ears into the toy. So all the colors are connected to each other, and that really works well. And here, you know, we are in a human, we're really looking down on the animal, and this is a human story, but that's appropriate because this is a story about how we have domesticated each other, right? So, um, yeah, it works in this sense. You want to be very conscious about, like, when am I looking down on an animal and when am I looking at their level or up at them? Because those are telling very different stories. This one works. Next.
Fear is in the eye of the beholder.
I'm not sure about the fear part, but then again, I'm a cat person, so I don't have fear of cats. Other people might have fear of cats, and maybe that's what that's referencing. But I'm just going to look at the image itself. To me, I'm looking at the treatment, that painterly quality. Of course, my cat showed up to evaluate this image. And what's really coming through to me is the way that each eyeball looks like the earth. And I think what this photographer might be saying, whether consciously or subconsciously, is there's a world in this cat's eyes. You know, there's a whole universe in there and a universe of connection to be had. So in that sense, there's a logic to this treatment. And of course, the tight framing on the face tells us a lot about proximity and intimacy. Next.
Have lovebird will travel.
So this is a surprising one for the theme and well played. Yeah, we kind of expect lots of cats and dogs for this, but we don't really expect to run into this guy. What a character. And partly what's so interesting is, like, we have a lot of gray clothes here. Like, this guy has a gray jacket, the woman next to him has a gray jacket, but that lovebird is kind of exciting and unexpected. So you get this sense of, like, in the humdrum of daily life, this lovebird is a flashpoint of excitement, and necessary delight. Um, so yeah, that's lovely. I think the only thing that we would need to work on in this image is the light, the quality of the light, which is a little gray and flat and downbeat, but I understand you only had a moment with this scenario. Next.
Travel, basic plus intermediate, 6 images. The Passion facade of the Sagrada Familia, designed by Antoni Gaudí, depicts the final days of Jesus's life.
It's so high drama, and I think that's the monochrome treatment. The black and white really emphasizes structure, which is appropriate when you're photographing a structure this epic, but also just brings out drama. And there's a lot of drama to be had here, both in the story that it's telling and in the architecture. Um, Boy, yeah, this is one I really enjoyed looking at length. There's one particular detail I love, which is in the bottom middle. Do you see there's a little diagonal of light, like a lightning bolt coming up from the bottom middle there? It's almost like you can hear it, like ding, 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 ding. There's like a sound to this, you know. Good architecture, of course, is musical, and the way this is photographed, you can kind of hear the musicality in the image. It is again tricky because it's Gaudi, and I appreciate that you gave credit to Gaudi. Can we up level Gaudi with the way we photograph it? That's the question, and I think this person is attempting to answer that with a striking monochromatic approach with lots of textural detail. Yeah, fascinating to look at. Next.
Il Colosseo Romano.
Um, yeah, what I didn't say about the last image, can we go back for 1 second? Sorry. It's hugely off kilter. The horizon line is off kilter. Normally, you'll hear me say, like, level the horizon line because it makes people dizzy. This is a case where having an off kilter horizon line kind of is essential because Gaudi is so off kilter. If you're telling an off kilter story, move the horizon, right? So it works that we're kind of dizzy in this image. Let's look at the next image. Whereas in this image, you wouldn't want the horizon to be off because you're not telling an off-kilter story. So you kind of want to, match the style to the subject. And this person has, both people have done that really well, the last image and this image. I think what we get a sense of here is the scale. Um, the humans here are working rather well. Did they all dress in black that day to help out with that? The person has photographed them well, so they all look like little scale references. And you really get a sense of how huge, what a colossus this is. You can even appreciate some of the pockmarks from where it was plundered. Um, I like this view of it. It's, normally the Colosseum is in the center, right? But having it off to the right does give us a sense that like this line of visitors curves around endlessly because humans are endlessly interested in this history. Next.
Under the shadows of the Dolomites, the small farmsteads dotting the hillsides above Bolzano, Italy, house hardy souls who grow much of their own food and bring some to market.
The title helped me see the farmsteads. I almost couldn't make them out without the title pointing them out to me, so that's helpful. Um, the scale is dramatic. I think what I was really appreciating and am appreciating about this is the dappled light. Um, and that dappled light is on a scale we don't normally see dappling on. That's like a massive cloud cover causing that dappling. Um, So yeah, that's just gorgeous. And I think the framing is very well done. We can't leave the frame on the left. We can't leave it on the right. We're just brought back again and again into the center of the image. And that's partly because of the framing devices and partly because of the way that the light is managed here. So it really gives us a sense of how beautiful this place is and just nestled in this gorgeous pocket of light. So quaint. Next.
Kenya Masai Mara National Reserve, a Masai warrior performs the traditional adumu jumping dance, a ceremonial dance that symbolizes strength, endurance, and cultural pride while the community gathers.
Yeah, I think you can see their connectedness here. Look how close they're standing to each other. Look how engaged they are. These people are not on their phones. They're not sitting on their laptops in a cafe by themselves. They're not reluctantly there, like, or at least it doesn't appear to be so. They are connected um, in such a beautiful way. by the color of their clothes, by how close they're standing to each other, by their shared engagement in this activity, which they're taking seriously, but is also clearly fun. There's several people smiling here. Um, and there are several people not smiling, and I think that gives us a sense of the gravitas of this ceremony. That this isn't only performative, this is also a source of cultural pride and tradition. And this is something anybody, if any of us has had the privilege of visiting the Maasai, will see how important this is to them that they show us this dance. But I think what this captures so well is the community connectedness, that bonding that men have here, that, perhaps we could use some of that here. Next.
Tuscany Villa at sunrise.
I love the aspect ratio here. That wide panorama really works for this subject matter. And I like the fact that the main subject, the main focal point is far off to the right. And then we can start there, enter there with that golden light, and just sweep in and see how dazzling that countryside is, and really get an appreciation for why it's a place that people hop on planes to go visit. Um, yeah, the use of space here is just spot on. It's a pretty extreme panorama, but just perfect for the subject matter with no distortion. Sometimes when you're taking a horizontal panorama like this, you get too much distortion, but this person did not get any distortion and managed that shape really well. Next.
Mist bow at Skogafoss, Iceland.
Yeah, that's very impressive on several levels. Um, yeah, I mean, we're already on board with the rainbow, but then it's a double rainbow. But then the water is so creamy. It's like just this just delicious, milky, frothy, beautiful, misty curtain of light there. And then really what seals the deal is actually not the rainbow, but it's those black pebbles on the bottom, each of them touched by light, the way that they're each catching and reflecting light. There's a dazzle there that's really, really something. And we can't leave the image on the right. We're nestled into this cove, and the black path is leaving us back in on the right. There's really, we're tucked into this little cove here, and we're not tempted to leave this composition. We live here now. It's just spot on. They've just managed every detail of this composition perfectly. I've been to Iceland and did not get this photo. So, yeah, real kudos to the person who managed to pull this off. Next.
Travel advanced, 5 images. Lower Manhattan's towers from Brooklyn Bridge Park looking across the East River.
Okay, so I like this image, but I don't love it, and let me explain. I did mention earlier that I judge for about 20 camera clubs, and so I have seen this image over and over and over again. It's a common image to be seen. However, I've seen it photographed kind of at the next level, like where it was done on a long exposure and with a neutral density filter, and the water is creamy and there's a mist rising off of the pillars. In other words, I've seen it done in many, many ways, and I've seen it done so well that unfortunately this image is compared to those. And I think whenever we're taking an image that's photographed a lot, like whether it's egrets or great blue herons or calla lilies, we need to really look at who has already done this at the most expert level, and can I do it in a new way? Because this particular vantage point has been much photographed. And if I had only seen this one, I would have been dazzled by it. But having seen hundreds of this, I think this could go up another level in terms of the technique. So I want to encourage this photographer to do the research on this vantage point, look at what dazzles them, and try some other techniques here. Next.
The skyline of Lower Manhattan has changed dramatically since the loss of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001. It is now dominated by One World Trade Center.
So same critique as the last one. This is a much photographed vantage point. And so again, it's, you can't help but compare it to all the other views of this same spot taken from the same angle. I would say what's working here is the color pairings, that blue against that gold and the orange tucked into the right and left sides. Those rusty colors really play well against the blues. So the color pairings are really working. I would take that color pairings and do some work with time to play with the water a little more. But I think the color is strong. Next.
Multifamily housing complex, Ciego de Avila, Cuba, shows serious signs of deterioration, including structural issues, though a lack of resources makes it unlikely that repairs will be made.
Yeah, very unlikely, unfortunately. Yeah, I have a soft spot for Cuba. This definitely looks like Cuba. It's just the color palette of, the Russians gave us housing. It's very Soviet, for better and worse. And it really is, I mean, I think anybody looking at this could be like, yeah, that's Cuba. I mean, maybe it could be Trinidad, but it's Cuba. So you really get a sense of, yeah, they don't have washing and drying machines, you know. Um, they've got their clothes out on the line there. They're making do. And that's kind of their hat trick is they know how to make do. So I think it really is an image that captures the place very well. Even the palm tree in the foreground with the wind moving through it, I think you can see this is a hurricane sensitive area. So we're getting a lot of information here about social and climate conditions. It's maybe a little fuzzy resolution wise, but that doesn't particularly bother me. And I might be wrong about that actually, the more I look at it. Okay, next.
Watching the races, Sam Sand Dunes, Rajasthan, India.
That's a fascinating image. I have never been to or seen anything like this before, so you're showing me something novel. It's amazing how we get to travel the world through this club. This is amazing. Like I'm as fascinated by the people riding the motorcycles and their intensity as I am by the people watching them. There's a wonderful distribution of elements here and color. Like you can pick any color, pick red, you can hopscotch the reds through the image, pick white, you can hopscotch the whites through the image. There are blues distributed kind of equidistant throughout the image. And then how perfect is it that the main focal point, the guy in the foreground, is wearing that bright magenta? That just like color wise could not have worked out better. And the yellow against that is just fabulous. And then the markings on the ground. This is the right time, right place, right subject. They say if you want to take a better photograph, put your camera in front of a better subject, and this is a better subject. Next.
In the desert around, excuse me, Borrego Springs, San County, California, there are 130 iron sculptures by artist Ricciardo Breseda. Shown is the largest, a 350-foot sea serpent.
Well, I appreciate that you gave artist credit here. And this is an extraordinary feat he has pulled off. And I think this vantage point is a great vantage point. We see a lot of photos of this sculpture from the side, of course, but I haven't seen many from this vantage point where the body is behind the head. And of course, that sunburst there is really adding a lot. And this person is kind of personifying the dragon, bringing the dragon alive with its relationship to the sunrise or sunset. So I think that's very well done. And the photographer's artistry is apparent as well as Brisetta's. Next.
Travel Masters, 3 images. Sun breaks through a clearing storm over Waimea Canyon, Kauai, which is over 3,000 feet deep, carved into iron red volcanic rock, and also known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific.
Yeah, that's an amazing abstract. I think partly what makes it so abstract is that the sky is cut out, and that's a very effective approach for shifting perception. We can't use the horizon line as an anchor to determine things like scale. So I really can't tell the sense of scale here, but it can shift on me. It can appear small or epically large, and that's a good thing. That shifting scale keeps me looking at the image, and arguably the length of time I spend considering the image is a measure of its success. What's working for me here is the surprising uh, hues. Like, why do we have magentas here? Like, what am I looking at? Iron oxide? Am I looking at a kind of a floral? Like, is there like in here? I don't really understand why this color palette is this color palette, but I'm intrigued. And so you've drawn me in. Um, and I think that was a really strong move to cut out the sky and make it as abstract as possible because now I'm kind of swimming in it and I have all kinds of questions about this. Yeah, next.
Milford Sound, Pio Pio Tahi. Take a Milford Sound cruise and view the beautiful waterfalls and iconic cliffs of the glacier-carved Fiordland National Park in South New Zealand.
Yeah, this one really surprised me because it took me and it happened again when it just came on the screen. The waterfall is such a dominant element and white is such a dominant color here that it takes you a minute to even notice the boat. And so there's this kind of surprise. It's almost like a punchline at the end of a joke. And um, and boy, does that give us an incredible sense of the scale here. Once your eye kind of registers that boat, you really appreciate how epic this scale is. It's wonderful because that's a pretty large boat. So I think this person has picked the right aspect ratio to emphasize the incredible height of this structure, and they're delivering through their use of scale a sense of amazement here. And that's our main job as photographers is to feel amazement and pass it along to each other. And so I'm receiving it. Um, so well played. Next.
The world's largest golden Buddha welcomes a solitary worshiper. Hidden from invaders for 200 years and forgotten, it was rediscovered in 1955. It is now a national treasure. Bangkok, Thailand.
Well, you certainly get a sense of place from the writing, the script, which could only be Thai, um, and from the color palette, these golden yellows, quite Thai. Um, and the posture of the practitioner here, the reverent person, you really get a sense of her devotion and her going inward here. So clearly communicating a prayerful experience. The part that's kind of not in sync with the rest of the composition is the light. I don't know why any temple would invest in fluorescent light. What are they thinking? That's not holy light. That's Soviet lighting. So I know obviously it's not the photographer's fault here. They can't control the temple lighting, but the temple lighting is kind of ruining the prayerful story. I think if we had more soft light, contoured light, darker light with pockets of light, that would help. This fluorescent light is a little tough to work with. But given that that's the light, I think they've captured the color well, and I wonder if it's possible to get this same story under a different lighting scenario. If it were me, I would ask them if I could futz with the lights. I know that's bold, but you might as well ask and they can say no. Okay, next.
Okay, we've gone through all of the images. We'll take another 5-minute break and then we'll come back with the awards.
Oh, nature, basic plus intermediate, 3 images. Third place, forest,
All right.
Cool.
M key.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did you even know there was a spider underneath
Yeah.
there? Oh,
Yeah, it's so neat to look at its
oh
little.
my gosh. Nasty little
There it
thing.
is.
Wow.
I've seen the white ones before, the little garden spider.
Mhm,
Mm.
mhm.
I got a ton of pictures of crab spiders, quite a few of them with an insect in, by the head.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yum.
my.
brutal.
Portfolio next time.
Next month.
There you go.
I mean, I want to see that.
Yeah.
Forrest, this isn't this is a moth, right?
Yes, it is a moth. You can tell because the wings are
Flat.
flattened rather
Yeah.
than folded up onto the back.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Skippers fold up.
Okay, I retract my skipper notion.
It's tiny. It's tiny.
But yeah, no, that thing's little. Like, those tar weeds, the head, because that's multiple flowers. That's not a single flower.
Huh.
Those are like maybe half an inch across at most.
oh,
Yeah. They're tiny.
you were down in the weeds.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Second place. Forrest again.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool
This is
find.
amazing.
Oh, how did you find that?
I was doing my usual, hikes around. This was on North Sonoma Mountain.
Mhm.
If you ever have gone on to North Sonoma Mountain and you're walking walking east,
Mm-hmm.
right after the parking lot, there's that first creek. There's a bunch, like, this is actually on, wood that was part of a burn, apparently.
Mm.
And so
yeah.
you got the turkey tail fungus, and then you got that slime mold.
Oh, wow.
And you can actually see sort of in the mid ground, it's a little out of focus, but there's some shelves of the slime mold. Well, the shelves of the fungus and the slime mold has engulfed it. So the slime mold's actually eating that fungus in addition
Oh,
to the
wow.
bacteria.
Yum.
Wow.
Ew.
Ew. Thanks for letting us know.
That's awesome, actually.
Yum.
Well, and again, like the thing about that is all a single cell. That state
Mhm.
That's crazy.
is
Beautiful.
called
Yeah,
Oh.
that is.
cenocytic.
Mm-hmm.
So there's multiple nuclei, but there's no
Oh.
partitioning.
Hmm.
So like literally the nuclei are just flowing through that cytoplasm to wherever they're needed.
Incredible.
Forrest, something you could think about as you expand to different categories. There's a creative category. And when I look at this, I see trees.
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
really not taking this one because it would be a derivative. It would be a different shot you would take of this that you could, rotate and crop in. And there you have a creative image because
Oh, yeah. That would be beautiful.
just to give you ideas as you expand out from your nature self to your artist self and see things in what you do.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Congratulations. First place.
Eucalyptus tree.
Oh,
Tim.
congratulations, Tim.
Yeah.
Hey, the new guy.
Well done.
Does Tim say something?
Here?
Somebody left, so we used to have 19, now we have 18.
Yeah, he might not be here. I don't see him.
Yeah, no, I think he had to go.
We'll have to let him know.
But really, come on, you
Look,
guys.
I love
This
that
is so
shot.
great.
Really nice.
Great shot.
Really.
That's so sharp.
Yep, we got down low for that one.
Mm. Woohoo.
I love that.
That's
Also,
so
a
funny.
great shot.
All of the girls leaving.
Yeah. Not
They were
impressed.
not interested.
Not for me.
Utterly
Yeah.
separate.
How pretty you are.
Congratulations to Tim. Nature Masters, 5 images. Honorable mention. Jennifer.
Jennifer.
That is
Fabulous.
gorgeous.
So elegant.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were so
Wow.
interesting the way they were doing that. And the way that they get these mussels is that the bears are out there on the mud flats digging up things to eat, and then the gulls are just hanging out. And as soon as the bear turns its back, they zip in there and grab mussels and clams and things like that, and take them up in the air to drop them on rocks. It's
Cool.
just really fun to watch that how they, the birds take advantage of what the bears are doing.
Boy, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Honorable mention, Linda.
Oh, thank you. This little female, probably, I don't know, it's hard to tell. Just hiking, got to see they were just sitting on top of these prickly bushes, which, I'm assuming is just to take care of themselves. And plus, I couldn't see a nest or anything like that. They're really interesting looking pigeons.
Yeah,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
My botanical brain immediately
gooseberries.
goes to, what is that bush?
Oh,
It's got berries, so maybe
Yeah,
they
look
eat the
like
berries.
gooseberries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and it does have
again-
a name. Do I know it? No.
I
Yeah.
just
I
love
can find out.
the colors of the bird, how they kind of soften out. They're just really
Yeah.
pretty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Third place,
Ah,
Oh,
Ah,
yeah.
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah, you're right.
this was a backpacking trip, and I was facing the river, which is looking in the opposite direction. It was a salmon run, and there were bears, quite a few bears fishing, getting salmon. And then I turned around and saw this large female with her son,
Oh,
and it was just a startling moment, very startling.
I bet.
and I hope you didn't try to run or anything.
No, it's
Just
moving.
lay down and play dead. Oh my gosh,
What's the
beautiful.
old saying? If you run from a bear, two things will happen. He'll catch you and he'll eat you.
Oh,
Yes, they'll beat you
Great
up.
image.
That's really good to know, Bill. Thanks.
Yeah.
Words to live by.
congratulations. Second place,
Oh my
Stephanie.
goodness.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
so amazing.
that's just
It's like
wild.
Gollum. It's
It is.
Gollum's
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, Gollum is right.
That forehead.
That's the word for it.
I know
Oh,
those teeth.
ew.
Yeah, like the thing about those is like that's actually the top predator in those rivers. Like
Wow.
those things will kill caiman and anacondas.
Huh.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, it's a giant river otter.
But they're so cute usually.
yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Usually.
have you heard about what happens to people with river otters up
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Like people have been mauled by those things. Like,
oh,
yeah, they're cute, but they're dangerous.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
chased in a kayak.
Good
I
to
mean,
know.
there were 3 of them coming after our group.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
They like to
Yeah,
hop up on the kayak.
those things, like mustelids, you
They're
do not
nasty.
mess with them.
Yeah.
Stephanie said,
Congratulations.
yeah, Stephanie
Beautiful.
said that she couldn't be here tonight,
place.
but thanks to everybody.
Cindy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yes,
yay.
Oh,
thank
Beautiful.
Cindy,
This
Amazing.
is spectacular.
you got to print this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful
Mm,
Beautiful
And-
shot.
a large print.
Beautiful color and everything.
Oh man.
I love how soft that bottom part is.
Yes, and the contrast, these birds are so crisp, and then the soft background's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, really lovely.
Put this in the our next exhibit at the health club.
Apes.
Yes.
Yes.
This needs to be up there.
I agree.
Congratulations. Pictorial, basic plus intermediate, 5 images. Honorable mention, Teresa.
Thank you.
That's really fun.
Oh,
Do you know that little person?
Yes, so I didn't want to intrude on this little boy. He actually had a fishing rod, so he was actually also trying to catch fish. So there was a double meaning, catching the moment, like you said, of this innocence, of this child just enjoying this quiet moment by himself, but catching fish, and then just the timing of the beautiful light and everything working together.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oof.
Honorable mention, Fritz.
Fritz. That looks like a Fritz picture. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is the High Sierra,
Mm.
and people wonder why I didn't go down to the lake, but I actually took it from my sleeping bag. So,
Oh,
too early to get up. It was too cold. So
that's chilly.
It's so beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
Makes me want to be there.
yeah, me too. But it's 30 miles back. My knees are saying, yeah, maybe, but not quite.
Maybe not again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Congratulations. Third place,
Mm.
Stephen.
Oh,
Very nice.
I don't think he's here, is he?
I don't think
He
so.
couldn't be here.
Well done.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Skagit.
Congratulations to Stephen. Second place,
Mm.
Teresa.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's nice.
A
No
stunner.
kidding. Perfect timing.
Just a
Amazing.
stunner.
Amazing.
Thank you. I was so scared that I was going to get locked in that night because, I think you're supposed to kind of leave by sunset.
Oh,
And I had my backpack on my back and I was running to my car afterwards, so afraid that I might have to walk home that night. But
Oh my
luckily, there were
God.
still a few people around and I didn't get locked in.
Worth it.
And a
Thank
good
you.
story to go with it.
Thank you.
Color is luscious.
Congratulations. First place,
Oh,
yes.
Ellen.
Ellen.
We knew it.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Striking.
We get to where we can recognize people's styles.
Yes,
Helen,
totally.
Helen, I want to encourage you to submit this to Lenswork. This is the kind of image you could find in Lenswork.
Thank you.
That is just lovely.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Pictorial advanced. 3 images. Third place, Ellen.
And she's not here, so we can't ask her.
Oh no.
Oh,
Ah, dang it.
Bummer.
But of course, she's off in Africa somewhere, so we can't.
oh boy.
Congratulations to Ellen. Second place, Ronnie.
Knew that was yours, Ronnie.
Thank you. Thank you. I I took so many pictures of dahlias at the Mendocino Botanical Garden, and
great place.
I couldn't believe how many dahlias there were, and some that I had never seen before. And I just love this one from behind. It was just perfect. So
gorgeous.
I really fell in love
Contrast.
with it, and thank you for all the nice things you said about it. I agree.
You love.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Congratulations. First place.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Risha.
That's
thank
great.
you. I
Love
took a trip down to Fresno to visit a friend who's ill, and she took me to this lavender farm. And at the lavender farm, they had billions of sunflowers. It was just a gorgeous place.
Wow.
Really, I mean, Fresno, I grew up there, but never saw anything like this. Thank you.
Yay.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Congratulations. Pictorial Masters, 5 images. Honorable mention,
Gonna be hard.
That's so pretty.
Oh,
Jennifer.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Yeah, this is Vancouver Island is just a
Wow.
really amazing place. just getting down to this beach was a mile walk through
Oh my God.
through the woods. It was amazing. It was just a great experience. Thank you.
Oh.
Gorgeous.
Well
Mm.
Congratulations. Honorable mention.
Oh,
Thank you.
That is
So nice.
Oh,
This was taken just a few weeks ago at what used to be Quarry Hill, and now it's called the Sonoma Botanical Garden.
mm-hmm.
oh, that's gorgeous.
Going
That
back
place is like,
every couple of days.
What time of the
if
day
you-
were you there?
You know, it was about 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Really, this is
Sun was just
wonderful.
coming in part of the way on the pond.
Mm.
I love
yeah,
that.
if you've never had a chance to hit Quarry Hill up it or Sonoma Botanic Garden now, I guess it's incredible. They have some magnolias from China that like there are 3 of them in existence, and like they've got one of them.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy,
A
yeah.
lot of Asian
Have
plants.
to get back there.
Phil, did you darken it some, or was it just how this
It's
was?
I didn't darken it, but the flowers are so bright and they were in the sunlight
Yeah.
that everything else came out dark. And so then I added to the effect a little bit, but just
Yeah. Lovely.
And that
Wonderful.
just spotting that frog is just so
I know.
Yeah.
That eye.
That eye just
Surprising.
he just slowly eased into place, looking at me, I guess.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
3rd place.
Oh,
Herb.
I
Herb.
was
That's
going to
gotta
say,
be
gotta
that's
be
a
Herb.
It's
That's a
pretty
herb
good.
pick.
Beautiful shot.
God,
it
it's
is.
I thought the frog was.
where did he get? I mean, where is he? Where did he go to
Good
get?
question.
It looks like Factory Butte or somewhere in that area.
Hmm.
yeah,
Where's
that's
Factory?
right. I know they did a trip there, so it could be.
What state is that in?
Utah? Is it Utah?
Utah.
Yeah.
Wow. Field trip.
Mm, totally. That's
Congratulations to Herb.
stunning.
Third place.
Hmm.
2nd place, I'm sorry, Stephanie.
Oh, of
Ah,
course.
That's
So cool.
amazing. Amazing.
Isn't that amazing? But
Adorable.
Oh, love it.
hummingbird.
Great shot.
That's just amazing.
How often do you see a hummingbird shaking like a dog?
I mean, how lucky are we?
Like never.
Right.
Exactly.
Never ever.
She's the one who gotta come to
You know, the drops all over the place. Oh, that's just amazing.
Mhm.
Congratulations to Stephanie. 1st place.
Ah,
Ah, Bill.
Oh, wow.
very
Yeah,
cool.
that's
Oh, good.
awesome.
In his backyard.
This was the Ledson fire just recently,
Yeah.
and we had a
Red
prime
is
viewing spot
amazing.
on our back deck.
Boy,
Yeah.
oh boy.
That's not real comforting, is it?
No.
Mhm.
Fortunately,
You
the
shot
fire
that
was
really
going the other
fast.
direction. The challenge I had on this picture was I like to take airplane pictures with the propellers blurred, but to get the detail in all this foam and smoke and water and flame retardant, I pumped it way up. You can see it's 1/16,000
Yeah.
to get the,
Wow.
Wow.
to get
It's
the
fast.
details.
Yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful, wonderful job.
Congratulations. Pet photography basic, 2 images. 2nd place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Christine.
Yeah, Sophie.
Welcome back, Christine.
Are you here?
She is.
I'm here. Not on camera though. Yeah, nice to be back.
Good.
That's Sophie. It was just she was on the couch. There was no setup to it. I was just like,
You're so cute.
Those beautiful eyes. Oh
Yeah,
my
I know
goodness.
those
yeah,
eyes.
She does.
Congratulations.
She has eyeliner.
Wow.
Did you do that?
I did, yes. She's very tolerant.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
1st place.
Yes.
Helen.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Is that your dog?
Oh, great.
Yes, I lost him last October. So
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
he was a doll.
Oh,
A
the
good
beautiful
remembrance
portrait of
photo.
him.
Thanks.
Mm.
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
how do you get him to
Gorgeous
sit
print.
still like that? It's so hard for me to photograph my dog.
I did a lot of training with him since I brought him home as a puppy. So he was just very easy. He really was.
Wow.
Had good jaws.
that's so hard.
Pretty handsome.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
At Photography Advanced. 5 images. Honorable mention.
Mhm.
Nancy.
Yeah, Spidey.
Nancy.
I looked at the category and go, my favorite category, alternate. Where am I going to find a pet? And then
Clever.
we
Clever.
You're so
every day,
clever, Nancy.
we talk about Spidey. There's Spidey with stuff. Oh, look at the mocha behind Spike. Look at the lighting, and so we're thankful that she gets her due.
Oh,
Could have done
Funny.
Zuccarina.
great.
Every day. Wow.
And with your iPhone.
Yep.
Congratulations. Honorable mention.
Oh,
Jennifer.
Jennifer, yeah, I thought.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely.
That boy just had so much love for that horse. I
yeah, no kidding.
couldn't take my eyes off him. He's just wonderful.
Great capture.
Congratulations. 3rd place. Me.
All right.
Oh, good job. Great
Yes,
image.
That's
Century.
the one you entered in the regional parks.
Yes, and
yeah.
it won 3rd place.
All
Wow.
right.
Nice.
I was one of the judges.
Oh, did you pay?
Oh,
Anyway, that's my dog River, and you really have to appreciate that she had just done her business, and I was bending over, cleaning it up and putting it in a baggie,
Oh boy.
and suddenly she spots something and freezes and is pulling on the leash hard. And so here I am balancing the baggie and the leash, and then reaching into my pocket to pull
Where's
out
my
my
camera?
iPhone. The iPhone is on a tether, so I have to yank it out, hold it up, and then figure out how to press the shutter button
Wow.
without letting the dog go. But she was absolutely focused on something and still, perfectly still.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were lucky. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Nice silhouette.
Mm,
Yeah.
lovely.
Congratulations to me. 2nd place.
Oh,
Oh,
Nancy.
beautiful.
May I have some? Great title.
yeah.
I love this
Peace,
picture.
sir.
I took this in 2010 with a
Wow.
Panasonic, Micro Four Thirds. And it was at the Monterey some event, to get people together. And I saw this and I shot it. And in looking for pet photography, I went, oh, what about that one? And I found it. And thank you for honoring it.
Good finding.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love his
image.
eyes, ears. Oh,
So
And the
expressive.
That arm
The
is
hand on
just
the arm.
perfect.
Amazing.
it lays for tears.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
1st place.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, it's
Liz.
Milo.
Liz. All right, Liz.
So amazing. Yeah.
That's my catalog, Milo.
Aw.
that is gorgeous.
He was
Yes.
in a cone at the time.
Oh my gosh.
He was like, really?
Oh.
Is he like just spayed or something?
Yeah, he's pretty bored.
Congratulations.
I can imagine if he was in the cone, like his thoughts were, Mom, I don't know why you're doing this to me.
Please stop.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Congratulations. Travel, basic plus intermediate. Honorable mention.
Oh,
Tim,
So where is this?
Barcelona.
Okay.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Really incredible.
very nice.
I'd love to see some of his buildings.
They're pretty fantastic.
What's really
Interesting.
this building, the towers on the building, you can climb all the way up into the towers and look out over everything. It's one of the most incredible buildings that I've ever had the pleasure of exploring.
Wow.
Yes, it's awe-inspiring. Your mouth literally drops open when you walk in that building. I couldn't believe it.
And something really fascinating about it, there's a little exhibit down in the basement of this. The way he came up with the idea of all the different towers and so forth, he suspended weights from a network of strings like a web. And so the weights were all pulling down. And then he rotated it 180 degrees and built the design from the upside down image.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Revolutionary for that time.
I'd say still.
Maybe for any time, yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Third place, Christine.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Tuscany.
That was obviously in Tuscany. We were a small group of us. We rented a little, well, not little villa, and I got up early, try to get some sunrise photos. And you see, it was pretty overcast, and the sun came out for like just a few minutes, and hit the building. And I was like, so. It was like a 5-minute window when I got the light, and then it was gone.
Oh, lovely.
Lucky.
Congratulations. Second place, Helen.
Helen.
Yeah, that's
Good job.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
beautiful.
So many world travelers in this group.
Yeah. We do get to see a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank
First
you.
place,
Oh,
Fritz.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
Amazing.
that is
Yeah,
stunning.
that rainbow kind of came and went. Yeah, the wind was blowing, so the wind would have a puff of wind, and the mist would go up, and there'd be a rainbow, and then there wouldn't. So you had to get it just at the right moment. So
gorgeous.
I
Yeah.
think you did. That's awesome.
Well deserved.
Congratulations. Travel Advance, 3 images. Third place, Ronnie.
Thank you. I have been working on this photo for many years, and I submitted it once, but it was dark. And I lightened it. The serpent was dark, so I lightened it, and I guess that did the trick. What I just wanted to tell you is that we started out and it was dark, and we kept going back and forth trying to find it, but it was so dark that we couldn't find it, and finally the sky got light enough that we finally found it and ran to get into position so that we could see the sunrise.
Gorgeous.
So thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
fun.
Congratulations. Second place.
Oh,
Thank you.
Patricia.
We made a trip to Cuba in January and visited cities Camagüey and Havana.
Well, that's
And
nice guy too.
it was a very illuminating experience. Really sad and really beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
And that Soviet insight from Becky, that was
what a treat.
Yeah, a Soviet building with Miami Vice colors.
There it is.
Yes.
There's so many Soviet buildings there.
Yeah.
I mean, has anybody noticed how we're kind of getting that architectural look all through Santa Rosa now with those new, housing complexes that are going up?
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
get me
not just Santa
started.
Rosa.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like having grown up around here, it's like I go through it and I see all this. I'm like, what is this? Why? We have such beautiful architecture all around the city, all around the county, and you're putting up this blocky.
It's very utilitarian.
Yeah.
It's happening in Petaluma as well. Yeah.
The state is requiring each city and location to build a certain number of units. And that is what's caused this.
Yep.
Because of people not having enough place.
Well, yeah, there's a huge shortage of housing.
Well, even
all
then,
over
you could
the
at least
state.
try to blend the architectural style with the local area.
I hear you, Forrest.
One thing about this image, it was taken through the window of a bus that we were traveling in.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
you got
Well
that.
done, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well
not
done,
easy.
you.
No.
1/80th of a second too.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Congratulations. First place,
Oh,
Ellen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, this is great.
That's
It
wonderful.
is.
Wonderful.
I was with Ellen on this trip, and that really was an amazing experience to be on these sand dunes and watching people watch these performers on the motorcycles. And I mean, there was just so much going on there. Anyway, Ellen got some really great images from that trip, and this one is among.
Wonderful.
Congratulations to Ellen. Travel Masters, 2 images. Second place, Herb.
What a strange color palette.
Yes, very.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Never have seen anything like it.
Boy, oh boy.
Congratulations to Herb.
Hmm.
First place,
Oh,
Linda.
Linda.
Yeah.
all right.
This
Beautiful.
was
So
such
cool.
an amazing
Wow.
place. If I could teleport, I'd go back many times, but 16 hours in a plane.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was just absolutely a wonderful place to visit, and how immense the fjords were. But it was really fun. Thank you for the feedback.
Congratulations. And the best image of the evening goes to
Oh my goodness.
All
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
You.
Oh, well
Thank you.
done, Bill.
Well
humbled.
done.
I'm humbled.
Congratulations,
There's so
Bill.
many, so many
Awesome.
fantastic images.
It wasn't easy to decide, but this one stayed in my mind for a number of reasons. So very well done.
Thank you.
looks like the red wolf.
Yeah.
It does look like an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do search the name of this chemical online and do an image search, you'll see there are a lot of images. This is one of the best.
Oh, thank you.
So it's something that you could circulate, because this is a story we're going to be telling more of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. Thank you.
Just on a pictorial basis, I really like how there's that big blob of red and there's just the little dots of red in the plane.
Thank you for mentioning that. That's key.
Yeah.
That.
The blues are really interesting too.
It was amazing light
Mountains.
with all the smoke and the water and everything
Well,
else.
you really had a view from your porch. Gee.
So I'll take it from the
Was,
deck. It's been
that was
about,
with a 400? Wow, that's close.
yeah, that's with
Gee.
micro four thirds, so it's equivalent to an 800 millimeter
Wow.
length. All handheld.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Nicely done.
But yeah, it was an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
Barbara yelled, "There's a fire!" Saw the smoke. So I got
You get
pictures
your
right from the
camera.
very beginning before the fire department even showed up.
Wow.
I'll probably put it in a portfolio as well.
How long did
Oh, great.
how
Oh,
long did
yeah,
it take for the red
portfolio.
to disappear, Bill?
How long did it take? What?
For the red to disappear. Apparently it's designed to fade in the sunlight.
Well, I can see it still now looking across the valley,
Wow.
but
Oh,
it's
that's a month.
it's very light. It's just barely visible.
Mm.
The flame retardant is in a gel form, so it contains a lot of water, and heating it, so it's basically a fertilizer, a phosphate based fertilizer uh, in a gel format. So when it heats up, the water is released, and that's what slows the flames down. So they just put it around the perimeter of the fire, and that stops the fire.
So your wife says there's a fire. She grabs the car keys. You grab your camera.
Well, we first had to make sure it was going away from us and not toward us, which it was. It's across the valley.
Okay.
So we're looking straight across the valley at the same height, same
Yeah, that's a
elevation.
true photographer. I get my camera.
Absolutely. Chance in a million.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's
There
wonderful.
you were.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When a
Good
lot of
job.
these images that are online, you don't see the smoke because they're putting it in areas before the fire has reached there. So this is a higher drama image than normal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like compression.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Great night.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
thank
much.
Thank you, Becky.
Images.
What a treat
Come
that
back.
was.
Please come back.
I'd be happy to. Thank you for showering me with beauty. Looking
Thank
forward
you
to seeing
so
you
much.
again.
This was wonderful. Beautiful images, everybody. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
night.
fantastic.
You guys amaze me.
Yeah, you do
Night.
too.
Good night.
night.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.